Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So finally, I'm here with a Zorga Deck Profile. Now, there's two builds that I'm currently testing, and this one is something that I have tested a lot more and feel comfortable with. So I'm going to show you this build first, and the other one I will show you after I am comfortable with that one. But that one is a lot more popular right now. There's a lot of different ways of building that deck, which is quite similar. So I'm going to cover it a little bit later. But this one, I think I don't see a lot of people doing that. At least I don't see it yet. So here we are. On the right line, I'm still using the Stoicheia right line because we do play a lot of orders in here. Not like my previous build with Doggy that I'll only run like few orders, but now I do need to run more. And this build is actually aiming for a mid-range or like a longer range game. You still don't expect yourself to play like an extreme long game because you will deck out, but what we are trying to do here is to not playing too fast that if you can't win you lose, and still having some kind of control, still trying to maintain a certain number of hands so you can survive, and based on what you still have on the board and what you have in your hand as orders to get your way through, to keep surviving, keep giving pressure, but like not in just one blow, but we go wider for doing something similar in a few turns and just see what you can turn around. So that's the idea. Now let's go into the main deck to find out what cards that we can actually help us to do that. First, only two extra Zorga. That's why you can see me simply able to split my Zorga into two decks because I'm only running 4 in two decks. But I do have like 8 to 9 Zorgas, not including the English one, so I can just do a 4-4 if I want to. But even in a long game, you don't expect yourself to personalize that much. And based on all the games I playtest, I don't even personalize runs. Sometimes even if I have a Zorga in hand, I just ditch him for just the normal right from right deck. And you do have ways to pick the Zorga up, and unfortunately he is probably in this deck your only Soul Training Swords. So do be careful with your soul usage. But even if you can't personalize, this deck can still function for quite a while, so you don't need to worry about that too much. Having 2 is extra is fine. Personalize 2 times max is fine, and we can just keep going with the content and you will know why. And next, with the new card, Roaming Prison Dragon. So this is just, oh boy, it's just such a good card. Now, he's only a 5k base, and whenever you play order, you can call him from Radar Circle. It's not a must. Then after that, you do one of the following. If you Alchemy Magic, you do both, which is you choose to plus 10k or plus 1 crit. So you do have the options to actually put him out very early game if you just ditch him for using a right deck and then just play whatever order and bring him back. But then since it's only a 5k, you might only go for plus 10, or maybe you can give him boost and you can just give him a crit, maybe hit another trigger to push a lot harder. But the main usage for him here is not exactly for the early game, but for a later game. So there are games that I didn't see him at all. That's also fine. He's only a toolbox, he's only an option, but whenever he's there, he will help you a lot because he can gain crit. Whenever you Alchemy Magic his 15k plus crit, then you just need to give another Headhunter, then you can just do a simple 28k 2 crit column without worrying too much, and that's what all you need, because that's if they don't have a 20k shield, which is a front, or some special orders or whatever to pump that, they need to give you 2 cards. That's basically he uses. That's why I'm only running 2. Again, don't see him, it's not a big deal. But the other build is a big deal. For this one, it's okay. It's just a one kind of interesting pressure point that you want to give your opponents and give them some illusions that you play a lot, so they need to think of saving resources. Don't push you too hard, or they try to push you, but then after that you have some other things to make them worry, then yeah, they will have a hard time. And then next, I'm running the Wicked Chef. Now, this is a very interesting card. Whenever he appears from drop zone to regular circle, you can pick up a Blitz Order per drop and add to your hand if you want to. Now, this deck do play Blitz Orders, but I'm only playing 1, so I'm also only playing 1 Wicked Chef. Because again, he is not a must, but if you actually see him at the Blitz Order, you can basically just counterblast 1 and revive that order every single turn. So I don't see a bad point from there. And if you can do this like once or twice, that's already fine. Because you even the Blitz Order, you don't have a chance to use it as a Blitz Order. You can still have other uses. So having that card in your hand is great. And after that, you can just do whatever alchemy magic you want, and then use your dragon to go on top of the Wicked Chef. So your Wicked Chef go to drop, and your dragon gain crit gain power. And the next time you use Zorga to call the Wicked Chef again, and just stomp the dragon back to the drop, and then get your Blitz Order again, and then just play whatever order you want to, and then bring back your dragon and go on top of him. Or if you don't have a lot of attackers, then of course you can just leave him there, but you do have a choice. So you can kind of doing a simple rotations from here, and you will see the Blitz Order that I use. That is going to help the deck a lot. And then next, starting from grade 2s, we have 2 of the doggy, Shadow Cloak. He is here to help you pick up some stuff if you want to by Soul Blossom 1 when you alchemy magic. He is also helping you to create more orders in your drop from the deck, because we do play a lot of orders there, so we do want to kind of semi-mill a deck here with him. Then we have a higher chance to meet other key parts or even triggers. And then 2 of the Hendrina to save the soul loss cost, because I do say that we don't have a lot of soul to use unless we go for personal, right? Then we can have some more, but not always the case. So do be careful. She's here to help you mill a little bit more, because we do want a certain amount of drop. We do want to see more orders in our drop, so that we can do a lot of things with them. And Hendrina can simply be a Soul Blast reducer, so she's just great. That's why I'm running 2. And then a Shock is another card that use your soul. So you can see basically these are already using up quite a lot of souls, so don't spam it. Shock is here whenever you want to push, but the way you play Shock is a little bit different. In the past, what I do is if I want to have specific timing to hit, then I will Soul Blast, because I do have a lot of souls to use, but now I don't have that much, so I am rather having a Shock right there and put all my triggers effects there. If I really want to go for Fatal, then I will Soul Blast. If not, I give them a chance to actually drop their cards. Then, because I do have a lot of resources in hand, I do have a lot of resources in board, I can play a long game, because this deck is poor, and we have this to push more. So you actually give them options to drop your hand, don't do anything, let me survive for another turn. And or you are going for Fatal, you put everything there and say, okay, give me everything you have, or you die. Then yeah. So still love the shark. I did try to put him out in other builds before, but in this build he's totally fine in here because we do have the nectar to actually pump him, give him crit, make him a lot scary, and he's always a unit that you don't care about some attack it, retard it, because you can simply just bring him back, and whenever he's standing on the board, your opponents will need to look at it. So it's a good point that switching focus, keeping you survive, that's the game plan. And then for the Headhunter, he is just great with the dragon, can be 28k without any thinking, and they all skills proc, so that's the side that you don't need to care about. Just 28 with crit. If we get something else, great. If not, that's fine. Reducing your counterblast cost so you can play orders a lot freely. Yeah, that's basically it. It's still a key to the deck, so there we are. And since we're playing a long game, we do want 4 PGs. If you are playing other faster build, you probably even would suddenly cut PGs or even don't use PGs. Some people don't use PGs at all, but in this build, you're aiming to survive for a long game. You're aiming to have a lot of cards in hand, even orders. Then PG will help you sort the problems out. So I do rely on PGs to survive a lot of turns, and you can pick the PGs up with Doggy. So yeah, just good to have. This time it's not because PG is PGs, but because I always saying that. But now it's something that I really rely on survival. So yeah, 4 PGs is here. And now the main dish is what kind of orders I play this time. First, I play 3 of the GDRs for the power pump, 1 of the regurgitation for board control while also trying to rebuild my field, and then 1 of the black magic so I can draw cards. But so far I haven't get a chance to actually use this card because I get rushed a little bit harder. But if I can actually play a longer game, I do have some time to set it up, then the draw tool will actually help. And then the new order, gather upon me, ye rendering souls, increasing drive, but you do need to teach another order. That is why you can just use a Wicked Chef to pick up a Bliss order to ditch for that, or because we do play a lot of orders, so you can just ditch another one so you can get prepared. The triple drive is actually helping, and because it's a grade 2 order, when you have a lot of orders in hand, you can even just on your grade 2 turn play this order, ditch another one, so you can go train drive and get 2 cards back. And if your dragon is already in drop, you can pull him out, gain 10k, gain crit, whatever you want to. That's another pressure. Another kind of early pressure you can give to your opponents while trying to maintain your longer game. And you can even just go with a plus 10k for 3 units and then go for free drive. Then your opponents will start need to ruin their numbers and need to rethink again what they actually need to give you. And then Nectar, good friend with the shark, or even if you're dragon, if you want to push a lot harder. But normally I save this for a shark so that I can do guard restriction with crit, plus 20k, usually go to 35 in total, with all the skills goes off with crit. And then with a Headhunter, go to 48. That's something that you always love to see. And then this overcoming the unnatural death, helping you to pick up orders, including bliss orders. And since this one asks you to ditch some cards, this is also helping you pick some cards back up. So you can keep recycling different orders depending on the situation. And since you have Headhunter, you can simply just use it without carrying the counterblast cost, and this card's also binding itself, so helping you to do the rotations and getting different cards to be binded, because they will also be important but it's okay to do a one-off. And then 2 of the spiritual condensation and 1 of the wild intelligence to call some stuff. This is also for meal. Yeah. And then lastly, the bliss order that I'm playing is the consuming the high grade save bandit for its sins. It's quite a long name, and it's like the super Saiyan move for Zorga and then for the other dragon. But this card is quite interesting. You do need the soul blast one to play it, so do take note on what you have in your soul. Don't spam too much, and you actually get to draw 1 back and choose 1 of your unit for each type of orders you have in your drop and bind zone for the battle plus 5k. So we have 1 type, 2 type, 3 types, 4 types, 5 types, 6 types, 7, 8. So maximum you can go for this card is a 40k shield. Yeah, it's 40k shield. And since it's counting drop and bind zone, so you don't need to worry too much that you bind too much orders. And this, you can just pick it up by Wicked Chef. So if your soul allows you to like keep guarding with this card, you can just guard, Wicked Chef, pick it up, guard, Wicked Chef, pick it up, guard. And you do soul blast 1 to draw 1 back, so you can just keep doing your stuff. But again, soul blasting is an issue, so you do need to be careful on that. I use him as a safety plan because early games he won't be that helpful. If he's only a 50k shield, you rather just drop a trigger, but of course you at least have a choice. It's not that card in your hand. And also, when you use this, when you don't have some good orders to drop or you want to save for next turn, you can drop this. That's totally fine. And until you see a Wicked Chef or this, then you can pick them back up and reuse. So this deck really plans on playing a very long game, and the more types of orders you use, the stronger this card can go. You can also use the tiers, the grade 2 order that can help you to soul charge, to counter charge. That is also working as well. Maybe if that's the case, you can actually take 1 of the spiritual condensation for it. I think it's called the tier 4 malice. You can just put 1 in, then that also help you to kill the dragons. Then you get the soul charge, you get the counter charge, you get a draw. That is totally fine. To me, so far this build is fine. But if you want to switch for 1, that's also increasing 1 type of orders you have. Getting this card to 45k max, I don't see a reason to not try. So both works. I don't even need to test out and see if it works. It will. So feel free to adjust the orders you want, but usually this I still keep at 3 because he's the pressure point. And then with Triple Drive, with just calling another unit, with this, basically with everything, you're still getting benefit from it. Okay, so now triggers. First, Stoicheia over trigger, because we only punch for 3 times, so doesn't matter to use the generic one. This will help you push the pressure through, push damage through by gaining 1 crit, so still, I think it's the best one to use in Solar. And then 3 of the normal crit, 4 of the soul charging crit. I probably will have this deck profile up before I upload the fight video because it's a remote one, and I probably need to set it up like how I want to show you guys. So we'll see it a little bit later. But in there, I actually haven't used this yet because I do need to take it out from another deck because I have like 4 to 5 Stoicheia decks and I only have like 3 sets of this crit, so I can't share for every single deck, but to do profile, I do need to show you what's the best. And this one is a card to help you to fill in the soul, so that you can start reusing a lot of stuff, including this order. So yeah, you can see the importance there. You do need to lose a 15 shield for that, so that's something that you need to calculate. But again, this deck is planning for a long game, so you do have a lot of ways to survive, which one of them is the 20k shield front. I'm running 4 of this so that I can have an easier time to guard, and then 4 heals, because whenever you see your orders, you see your Great Free Dragon goes to damage, you always want to see heal so that you can put them through drop, then you can do whatever you want from there and just be happy. Yeah, so what usually you want to see on your board will be, say you have 2 of this, and then I pick all these back up. You have 1 of these. Just assume you have 1 of these. It's already fine. But if you're going for like a win turn, this is what you are looking for. You have a shark. You have a Zorga. That's the kind of a formation that you will win. Now, because you will Alchemy Magic, this will +5. Because you will Alchemy Magic, this will come back with +10k and 1 crit. Because you're ready to Soul Blast, this will get a 5. Right? So base power here is 13, and here is 13, 23, 28, and this one is 18 and 28. So 2 28s and 1 13. What can you do? Simple one, GDR, so that you can go for 10, and then 15, 20 here. That's one thing. And what should you combo with? This to gain a drive, totally fine. If you don't have this board, then you can use this to have you build a board, but this is already threatening. Then if you do want to get more orders for the next turn, you can actually use this. That's totally fine as well. This is the simple combinations you go for. Or if you're really going for win turn, go for this. Then you give this another 20k, another 1 crit, right? So this is basically your win con. And let me give this another 5k here. Oh no, it's actually here. So that's what you do without permanent writing. So 23k, and here is 25, 38, and this side is 18, 38, 58 with crit, with guard strikes. This is the old style, but with this, right, you can do like this and this, or even this and this. You just lose the free 10Ks, but you do get triple drive, and from there, maybe if you know your decks have a lot of triggers, then you want to increase your drive for it. Totally fine, right? But at least you have options. And even in early games, when you like at grade 2, you don't have all these, then you of course put back your this right here, and then say you do have a lot of orders and you just play this and this can another drive. If you have this, then it's already like that. And then if you have a dragon, you can just do it with this, or you can do it like this, right? This is something that you throw off. Then this go in for a twin drive. Then your opponents probably won't guard, and if by chance you get triggers, you put it there. If not, that's fine. Then you just wait with this. This is also some early games you can do. Yeah, so you can feel free to control your own pace. You can like starting from grade 1, starting to call out this to attack. Entering grade 2s, you can start using your Headhunter to mill and attack. You can use your doggy to start dropping orders and attack. Yeah, so just choose your pace. You can play from mid-range to like a long game, or even if your hands allow, you can even play a shorter game. Yeah, so it's really fun to play. And also a little side note that when I play this deck, you do need to kind of know what your opponents do, because like in I think in BO we actually can like know your opponent's deck. So if you see your opponent is going to rush you a lot, then I do suggest you to keep at least a trigger in your hand. Don't take it out, because if you don't keep any triggers, you won't survive. This deck is talking about having a longer curve, and you do want to survive. And it's okay to keep 1 to 2 triggers in hand so that you can block some crazy early games push. And once you start getting into your grade 3s or even grade 2, start using your orders, gaining drive, drawing cards, getting cards back up, building your board back, then you can start get the gears going. Then it will be easier for you to survive once you get there. So you just need to survive for the early rush, then you are all good to go. Yeah. So this is my mid-range to longer range Zorga. There will be a like rush build that is not fully rush. But if you also do want to see the fully rush, feel free to comment down below. Then I will make the third one to cover that as well. But so far I plan to do 2, because both of them is this one is completely, I have this idea in my head and I just put it up and glad that it worked. And the other one is actually the rushing build, but because that one, if I completely follow the guide that I have, it's like go all in, and then if you can't win there, you lose. But I'm giving myself a little bit more room so that even if I don't go there, I still can survive a little bit. So I am also pushing, but also giving myself some backup so that I can survive for a turn or 2 and still aim for a fast game. But this one aim for a little bit longer, unless my opponents rush me that hard that I need to rush them back. It's like a good payback. Then that's what I do. Yeah. So it's a little bit longer, but because I think this build deserves a little bit more explanations and such. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. And yeah, enjoy this deck. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.